is what I have to figure out. There's about 9 mammoth songs in E minor that come out in the first half of 1980. 9 mammoth dance floor rockers in E minor. I will ask this much. Was Good Times that much of an influential song that it's almost like, was it unavoidable? Because when I ask some of these people, when I ask the other artists this question, someone will say like, like sometimes you just subconsciously go there without purposely trying to go there. Whereas like, Brian may confirm or may not confirm that Another One Bites the Dust was exactly what's our version of Good Times. But for you,
yeah, no, Rapture was total homage to Chic.
okay, just wanted to know.
Yes, no question about it. I was totally thinking of that bass line. The whole bass line is the first thing that came up.
Yeah, that was an extremely radical. That was an extreme radical thing to do. Like, of all the songs in your catalog, that was super, super risky. Could you just talk about how does hip hop reach you as a New Yorker? Like, were you aware
of what was
happening in the Bronx?
I really wasn't that aware. We'd heard Rapper's Delight, on the radio, a couple of things, but then we hooked up with Freddie, and Freddie, I guess it was 77, took us up to this event at a police athletic league up in the Bronx, and that was like just this eye-opening experience. It was.
Wait, what year did you meet Fat Five Freddy?
Probably 76 or 7.
Oh, damn. Okay, long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone over the date with him trying to figure out what year that was, and he thinks 77 was when we went up to this thing.
One of my all-time well, I won't say great punishment stories was kind of like a fist fight that I almost got into with my cousin, because at this point it's the summer of 1981, and he's singing like we're I don't know where we're coming from. We were coming from like my grandmom's house. He was walking from the corner store and going back home, and he's singing to himself. And he's like, fast is fast, fast is fast, fast is fast, fast is cool. And I was like, wait, why do you repeat that 3 times? And he's like, because that's how the song goes. Flash is fast, flash is fast, flash is fast. I said, no, it doesn't. She says,
no, it doesn't.
So basically, my cousin never heard of Rapture, and I never heard of The Adventures of Grandmaster Flash on the Wheels of Steel, which for hip hop historians is basically the first time that the world is hearing what cutting and scratching is like. Grandmaster Flash goes in the studio and he does a 7-minute open format demonstration of the records of the day. Takes Chic's Good Times and Apache and Rapture and just the party songs of the moment, and does a demonstration of what scratching is. Because for most hip hop records, you'd have to get a band, get Keith LeBlanc or whatever to redo the breaks and whatnot, because technology wasn't there yet. And so, of course, my level of know-it-all snobbery, was I was so angered. Like, he then knew he could get my goat, so he would just sing it like anytime he just want to fuck with me, he'd just be like, flash is fast, flash is fast, flash is fast, flash is fast. And I'm like, motherfucker. And then we just, we got put on punishment. So, at the time, like, for you, were you shocked at the reception? Were you nervous about it? Or for you, was it just like, this might be filler on the album, or like, yo, this shit's going to go to number 1?
Frankie Crocker was a major component.
I forgot.
That song.
If it
get
goes
number
to
one
Paradise
in
Garage,
America.
it's going to Frankie
Yeah.
Crocker, then it's going to the
Yeah.
world. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, he was a big supporter, and we are eternally grateful.
Yeah.
So what was it like seeing, I mean, at that moment, did you realize you were seeing a revolution at the time, or was it just like,
No, because
oh,
it's funny what you said earlier about being a fad, because I was up there with all these record company guys and people on the inside of the industry, and 99% of them all said, "Oh, it's a fad. It's going to go away." It's
Right.
They
like,
they said that about punk too. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
that
guess,
was
yeah.
their favorite thing to say, and the other thing was, when Kiss, when every time that there was a technological advancement or, update, say, it's not going to last. And, that was
Yeah.
the big thing to say. Ah, it's not going to last.
one of the first things I did when I started working here at 30 Rock, which of course, where the Tonight Show is and SNL and all these like legendary shows. There's a giant database system that's hooked up to all of our computers. So any episode of SNL I want to watch, like you can't get it on YouTube, but I can sit here for days and go through the archive. How hard was it for you guys to actually broker that deal so that the Funky 4+1 gets on SNL?
The real hard aspect of the Funkies being on the show was trying to get them to scratch. And
Yeah, I was going to say,
I couldn't get it done. And there was a moment when they even got a limousine and sent two of them uptown to get a cable. That didn't work. They just couldn't get it done. They went on to a tape, and then they also went on the crawl at the end of the show. With under the credits, but it was still. But I mean, Chirac is still by many considered the first female rapper.
Yeah.
So.
No, that to me was a credible cosign, because they were, to me, like the epitome, and the fact that you didn't see female MCs that much, and
Yeah.
They could have been like, hey, go with Flash and them, or go with the Sugar Hill Gang, and the fact that
Oh no,
you guys saw that
we were buddies with those guys. I hung out with Rodney for many years.
legendary Rodney C. Yeah,
Rodney
yeah.
C. Yeah.
yeah.
So get into it. So how did you meet with Charlie Ahern and your involvement with Wild Style? Are you shocked at all that suddenly, not even suddenly, well, I'll say that, a good 15 years after you create these tracks, that suddenly like they do become sort of like a staple of hip hop culture, at least like us using those breaks for real, not just for the purpose of Wild Style.
Yeah. No, I don't know that I'm shocked. I mean, what I was aware of when I told Charlie at the time was, as soon as this thing comes out, there's going to be 100 Hollywood movies like this, and like Beat Street was like immediately thereafter,
Right?
Like a bigger budget version, But no, it was great. It was just all people that we worked with. It was a part of the TV party milieu, that whole thing. I mean,
Right.
I think Lenny plays drums on some of that stuff. And he was in the TV party orchestra.
Yeah, I was going to say, who's the other, because the Blondie guys are not playing on that, right?
No, it's just I came into the studio with my old Roland synth guitar and put tracks on top of what was already had been recorded, which was bass and drums. And then Freddie did like those sound effects of like electric razors and all kinds of weird stuff that he did. And
so wait, who did the bass and the drums?
I might be Lenny. I'm not sure. You got to ask Charlie on this. I never got together with him. I did those tracks with Kaz, and I only met Kaz like 3 years ago for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And that one track that I did with Kaz, I tried to sync synthesizers up to the scratching by just taking the line out of the scratching track and putting it into the voltage controlled input of the synth. So that actually is happening on, I don't even know if that's been done since. It's a little chaotic, but it's,
I was about to say, that's very primitive level of
Yeah.
of making that stuff. Who has the master tapes to those sessions?
Charlie, I guess he's in control of that whole thing. I might have copies up in the tapes. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was about to say Down by Law might be like one of my all-time
well,
favorite.
everybody gravitated towards that, and it was so smart that they pressed up vinyls and gave them out to the people who were doing the shows that were being filmed.
Right.
You know, but they all gravitated towards that one track too.
I was going to say, like, how many copies of those instrumentals were made?
Initially, I don't know, 20 to 50 maybe.
Oh, okay.
But then, you know, it's been repressed and re-released on like a white label thing that's like simulates the. I mean, I had guys. I would go to the UK and I had guys come up to me and beg me for copies of the original. You know, I didn't have any good control.
Yeah, I think like they reprinted them. At least the instrumentals, like around like 93, 94. So
yeah.
But for the longest, I couldn't find any of those things, and was
that
wondering.
basketball throwdown sequence is like the greatest goddamn thing to me.
It is.
It's never been done since, and they did a lot of takes to get that, but it's you can find that on YouTube. It's just awesome.